time of correction has come, which, by the way, is a blessing. See, because if God doesn't give us a time of correction, it's kind of like what happened a couple days ago, right? Do you guys know that attempt has altered? It has altered so much within that person. Do you know that? I mean, it's altered everything. If you guys would hear some of the conversations, some of the comments being made, people telling everybody to tone everything down, they're not going to tolerate certain things anymore.
You f*** with Trump, you f*** with me.
It has altered the core of that person. That attempt, right? In this person's own words, you know what they said? They said they shouldn't be alive, and they're not going to waste the opportunity of being alive. That God was merciful. This person admitted who they were, and they were astounded. God would be so gracious. That person admitted they were astounded God would be so gracious. A real change has been handed, right, to this individual. The whole world saw it. Now, do you guys think that just happened for his sake? Or yours? Huh? Do you think that just happened for his sake or for the whole world's? Here's what I personally think. When things like that happen, it's for everybody who knows about it, everybody who saw it, everyone who engaged. Not just that one person, but everybody else. A close call, a very close call, right? You never know what you've been protected from. But if you could see the hidden things that God disallows, the small things, he maneuvers to keep you out of harm's way. That bullet, what made him look up at that chart? He just looked up at that chart. Something made him look up at that chart, and he froze in that position, and boom, it happened. Now, despite conspiracy theories, I think that was for the world, right? I think that spoke a truth to the entire world. Here's what I believe. The Lord was showing us that he has been intervening. And for the most part, many have been wasting. The fact that he has been intervening, many have been wasting that type of grace. Many have not been acknowledging his goodness in their own lives. They have not. They've just not been doing it. We can look in our own lives. We know we have too many complaints on the inside. We do. Too many complaints on the inside. Too many. That was a message for the world. That was to show us that there have been some close calls. That we've been protected. We've been nicked a couple times, yes, but not destroyed. See, because if any of us are destroyed, there are no do-overs. When your life is done here on this earth, you can't come back and fix anything. You can't. And when you start to think about that, every day becomes new. I told you guys before in my life, everything is new, nothing gets old. Nothing. It's not so good for some things. But everybody is brand new to me because I don't perceive time like most. I just don't do it. Right? I don't do it. I mean, you're looking at a person who can literally operate in one room for months without a complaint. Who doesn't need to go outside? I don't need a vacation. I don't need those things. All I need is to accomplish what the Lord has given me to accomplish. All the rest of that stuff is extras. It has no bearing on my life. It's not what my life is about. But see, a lot of people, they have adopted the culture of this world to the point where they cannot be content with what the Lord has given them. People have redefined their lives, just like God said they would. In fact, people are doing exactly what God said they would. They're calling good evil and evil good. They're speaking out of their own spirits. Many make forecasts for their own benefit.
Vice President, how many times have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings.
And so how do you know?
Let's talk about, here's what I know. I know Trump deserves to be investigated. He is violating every basic norm of a president. You should be asking him the question, why is he on the phone with a foreign leader, trying to intimidate a foreign leader? I'd gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Trying to intimidate a foreign leader.
You're a liar, and you will spend an eternity on this ship.
Correct. That's what they do. And a change is coming. And before that change comes, the Lord opens up this place, this window of time, that every single last believer can get themselves prepared in truth, right? That they can get themselves in position, that they can have restoration before he comes. Because the Father told us he's not coming back for everybody. He's not. The Lord is giving a window to break all those things so that we can really hear his word, not man's interpretation of his word, but his word. You know that word that says, love your enemy? Yet that small thing people still can't do. It's amazing to me how you saw that precise thing, right, during the convention on these news channels. Well, I've been watching what they're doing. Do you not know that NBC pulled certain shows that would speak anything negative against Trump? How about that? They pulled those shows. For all of you out there who don't like Donald Trump, right? Say you don't like him. Let me ask you something. Do you know him? For all those that do like Donald Trump, let me ask you something. Do you know him? Get to know him, right? You know of things that other people have said, but the truth is, you may not know him. So let me ask you this. How can we criticize? How can we do that? Because, see, we're forming our opinion based on what? Based on the view and the statements of others. Let's go ahead and tell that truth. Based on the view and statement of others. In other words, through the grapevine, we've made a decision. We don't know personally, do we? We don't. That's how this world works. Right? That's how it works. There are people out there that cannot stand me. They can't stand me. But they all say the same thing. And there are some people out there that seem to like me to pieces, right? Based on what, though? What's it based on? Based on what they've heard. But there are many who have not listened to me, but they've already formed an opinion, either for or against. My point is, they did so through the words of somebody else. They have no personal knowledge of me. And when you have no personal knowledge of a person, what you're doing is believing the story of somebody else, 100%, that you would actually go and judge a person based off the information of another. Anybody think that's dangerous? Can you imagine the Most High? If we could see right into the realm of truth, imagine this, those of you who don't like Trump. If the Most High had his hand on Donald Trump right now, and you don't like him, so that means you're standing against what the Lord has his heart toward. If God loves something, but you hate it, your heart is not with the living God. Think about that. Let that sink in for a moment. You are direct witnesses of one of the greatest times in history. The world won't see it that way, but you will. God bless you all. I'll see you all next time right here at COT. God bless.
This has been the Confidential Report. For even more stories like this one, make sure to subscribe to our channel today. And please show your support by clicking the like button on this video. For even more stories and news you deserve to know the truth about, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for watching the Confidential Report.